So we are live now. Punish, over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Vasant. Good evening to all of you and welcome to now famous CIO CXO Talk Series by CIO Club. As the name suggests, this talk series provides different perspectives on the topic of discussion from multiple roles, not only the IT leaders, which we are habitual of. Today also we have a diverse set of leaders to share their wisdom with us on a topic of workforce management. During COVID-19, the situation of workforce management is the one that was disrupted the most. Employees were required to work from home, not by choice, but by compulsion. They were forced to change their working habits almost overnight by meeting virtually, by collaborating virtually, and the lines between the work hours and the personal hours blurred, followed by vanishing completely. The productivity improved, so organizations were content with that, but nobody is sure whether we can sustain this productivity surge or not. We can't say that what will be our ways of working 6 months from now. Will we come back to offices completely? Will we keep on working from remote places? Or we'll find a midway of partially working from both places? There are many solution companies will try, like flexible work timings, multi-skilled workforce, contactless processes, etc. And surely we will have a remote working policy in almost every company, that's for sure. Then there is another angle of people who do not have desk jobs. They can't work from home. We can't make a car sitting at home. Somebody has to physically move and assemble material to make a car in the plant. This got disrupted by reverse migration of migratory workforce to their native places in absence of work. And that created a shortage when factories started opening up again. Challenges are many. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Punish Lamba and I'm the Group CIO for CK Birla Group. Before I introduce our moderator for today's session, let's see a small video of CIO Club. And like in the aircraft, when the hostess say that even if you are a frequent flyer, please see the safety demonstration. As it may have changed. I'll also repeat the same thing, but a little differently. I can't be as petty as them. But the message is that see the video as it may have changed, and there may be some answers to the quiz that will run after today's discussion. So with that, I'll request our team to run the video, please. Can we have the video?
CIO Club is an initiative of CIO Association, an association of CIOs by CIOs and for CIOs. CIOs of Indian enterprises has formed the CIO Club, registered as the CIO Association. CIO Club is a non-profit and the largest association of chief information officers in India. It is registered under the Indian Societies Act. CIO Club was formed in 2008, and from one chapter in 2008, CIO Club has now grown to 10 chapters over the years. We now have chapters in Mumbai, Delhi NCR, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Kerala, and Ahmedabad. From a humble beginning of 30 CIOs in Mumbai, it has now grown to more than 1,800 plus members across the country. CIO Club is governed by a governing body and the chapter managing committees which drive the CIO Club objectives nationally. Our technology partners leverage this strong platform to showcase their products and services to the CIOs. The key objectives of the club are to share experience, enhance knowledge, and explore better business solutions by leveraging the collective wisdom of a large number of CIOs who are registered members. The primary objective is to drive the business benefit to the organizations of the member CIOs and also help CIOs in their professional growth as effective leaders. The club also encourages entrepreneurial spirit by providing a platform for sharing and generating innovative ideas in the larger interest of the community. CIOs from every industrial domain indulge in this endeavor for the evolution of the IT community. Today, CIO Club is poised to scale up in terms of location spread, breadth of membership, and building new alliances to bring international best practices within the reach of the community. International club relationships are being built. One such initiative is CIOnet. Members of CIO Club get free access to a wealth of knowledge and opportunities to network and mark their presence in the international community of CIOs. More emphasis is being led on knowledge sharing, and also avenues of spreading this knowledge to other members of the IT departments are being set up. CIO Club is actively working with industry bodies such as NASSCOM, CII, ASSOCHAM to ensure that the CIO community has a voice in such forums. We have also constituted special interest groups on IT security and digital transformation to strengthen knowledge and experience sharing in these two critical areas of information technology. We are working towards a welfare program and executive education program for CIOs, and it will be launched shortly for all the members of the CIO Club. So, join the CIO Club and start learning, sharing, and caring. For more details, visit us on cioclub.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Excellent. Great. So now it is the time. Thanks for the video. Please allow me to introduce our moderator for today's session, Mr. Vijay Sethi. Mr. Vijay Sethi, as we all know, is heading HR, CSR, IT, and digital at Hero MotoCorp, the world's largest two-wheeler manufacturer. He's a dear friend and a senior leader to whom a lot of us look up to and try to copy the initiatives that he takes. The number of hats he wears on a daily basis are much more than any of us. And I'm often amazed the way he's able to pull every role off and is able to make difference there. So welcome, Mr. Vijay Sethi, and over to you, please.
Thank you, Puneet. Thank you very much for your kind words. Good evening, everyone. So happy to be here and so happy to see all my friends out here. So before I start, let me just introduce the panel members that we have. Let me start from right. So I have a very dear friend out there, Rajesh Uppal, all of us know. He's the Senior Executive Director, HR and IT at Maruti Suzuki. And I don't even remember how many years I've known him. More than 20, 25, 30 years. I don't even remember that. Another friend out there, Sanjay Kotha, smiling, always smiling. Whenever you see him, he's always smiling. So Sanjay is the Joint President and Group CIO at Adani Enterprises. Sanjay, welcome. And of course, we have a technology partner, a very nice man, as you'll also interact with him. Kronos, from Kronos, we have Sumeet Doshi. He's the Senior Director and also Country Manager at Kronos. Of course, Punish is there on the screen, so 5 of us here. So welcome Rajesh, Sanjay and Sumeet. And I'm sure that we'll have a very nice chat. I know we got around 35 minutes, so I'll just request everyone to keep the answers very brief. Also, I'll request if we can really come up with certain things which all the viewers can really take away from this and they feel happy. We should have fun in this. I don't want it to be a very, very senior, very, very serious conversation so that at the end we feel like kahan phas gaye. So it should not be that. So all of us also have learned from each other. So COVID, as Punish was saying, these are tough times. I don't know how many days and weeks and months each one of us has been at home, once in a while going to office. Some of us have restarted our production. But more or less, most of the country is at home. Most of the people who work in offices are at home. So let me just start with you, Sanjay, if it's okay with you. Sanjay, can you maybe from an Adani Group perspective, can you just share quickly as to what has been your experience during this COVID time, especially from workforce management perspective?
Thank you, Vijay. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and sharing this panel with the senior colleagues, with yourself and with Vijay. This is a great honor. Yeah, I think I mean, it was no different for Adani like any other company as such. I think the biggest challenge was how do we ensure the business continuity if I have to club it in one word. And you know, no company was prepared for this kind of a pandemic, and our company especially, you know, which is extreme work from office and, you know, did not have a work from home. While the employees, some of them may go and take a laptop at home, but you know, you were never poised to build in systems like that. But I think the challenge was, you know, while we had a lot of laptop users, you know, luckily, and done a lot of deployment on the cloud on SaaS models, so which was not a problem for us. The issue and challenge was about some legacy applications. You know, how do you get them quickly enabled for these employees. And for those employees, who were desktop users, especially like the shared services teams, who were working from office. So how do we get them laptops right in time and look at their connectivity problems, because not everybody has got a super speed at their places. So arrangement of these dongles was a challenge. First week I can tell you was all roller coaster ride of trying to understand, how do you do it, and of course we did it in 8-10 days, managed to get the basics done. But I think second big challenge was we realized over a period of time that how do we update these passwords? How do people change passwords? There's a policy which you keep in there. It's a 45 days. So what happens when the 45 days happen? They're not connected to the network. And so what do we do for that? Patching, with Windows 1909, 2004, every now and then there's a build, and we have seen tremendous amount of incidents happening during the pandemic. So how do you want to keep your security posture up and working? So those were some of the challenges. But I think we were a little bit lucky that some programs we had done almost a couple of years back towards digitalization, and we had started moving a lot of our workloads on the distributed network on various hyperscalers. So that gave some ease. And now, of course, those were the days then, but now the challenge is very different, that we are in a new workspace. And I think going forward, we will probably discuss those few points. So those were a couple of big challenges.
The moment you said we were a bit lucky, I thought you would say that we knew that it's going to happen.
Gosh, no pundits in the country when 2020 started could break this. So
All of us would go to your office again to see as to what happens next. Okay, so
but we are almost 30% of our employees in our corporate office. We started way early from almost April, and that's been actually a great feeling to be in office.
Fantastic. So Uppal, coming, one is the office piece, other is the factory piece. So what has been your experience and challenges during this period from workforce management?
Okay, thanks Vijay for the opportunity, and thanks the CR Club for the event. I think my issues are very similar to what Sanjay said. So maybe I'll not cover the thing which Sanjay has said, which has been there with my case also. Let me add few or more things around it. I think one thing very clearly came up in this whole process while the whole locking or unlocking time and all kind of thing. I think one very clearly came up is that in this pandemic, health of employee is very critical. So that's taking a center stage of the whole discussions around. And anything to you do and all, I think your health of employees and making sure they are safe was first primary criteria of any work to be done. I think that became the kind of application required or touchless kind of processes required. I think that took a very center stage in whole discussion around in all working. Now today we track almost more than 100,000 people health through various apps around to really see to it that they are eligible to come to office today or not, something like that and all, and the whole process around if somebody doesn't come, who will take over that work and do that and all. I think setting up those processes was really very quick and difficult to do that and all is one big change I see happening. In addition to what Sanjay, I say everything Sanjay said is something which we also do that. Second, I think important thing came up very clearly was the whole how to manage the engagement and the people working from home. Now, we had not been really, planned to do that and all. It came up suddenly into the whole network. Now, how to manage the engagement, how to manage the productivity of people around, how to measure the productivity, and so on and so forth. I think that was another new area to work on, and I think a lot of work was done during that and all. And then now we're still evolving how to really institutionalize the whole process when we have come down to the almost normal working now. And that's the second thing and all. And third, I think very critical has been infra at home of the employees, because that was one big area around whether it is big screen for our design engineers or the bandwidth required for connectivity. I think that's again has been a big challenge to work on and all. But over the I think time we really found solution of all of those things around and took it forward from there as of now. I think that's the where we are right now.
Absolutely, I can relate to each word of it. We also did something similar, and communication, safety, well-being of employees was the critical in this entire thing. Our chairman himself had almost 36 town halls with employees and other stakeholders and other leadership team members also. For me personally, it was maybe I was more lucky than others. So IT was at the forefront, HR was at the forefront, and even CSR from all these things, whatever we had to do from migrant workers and also all three kept me busy personally a lot. But I think it was interesting time. Now it's coming out to be normal, as you rightly said, Rajesh. So now let me come back to you, Rajesh, once again. Since you said things are getting back to normal, I know that we have started operations back. You have started operations back. All of us have been reading in the news as to what is happening to our company, your company. So as we restarted this operations, and all of us are facing some of these challenges like workforce scarcity, people going back, migrant labor is not working. What kind of actions that you have taken, and both in offices and at the factories, so that employees feel safe, whosoever are coming? So what kind, maybe you want to talk about them, couple of them?
Okay, I think one thing very clear is once you come to a factory, you should get that you are coming to the safe place to work on, right from entry to the social distancing to the sanitizations and all those processes around. Even taps are contactless and doors are contactless, and also everything is something which was done. I think the whole safety is something which came as an important part. And second, as I said, the apps we build around and all to ensure that we proactively track the health of any employee, and any something is not suitable to come in should stay home, and in a portal we should get to know who is not coming today, so that we can plan those resources and work on that. Is the second thing around and all. And but third important thing very clearly was the whole awareness and the the communication to everybody around, which you said, your chairman did, I mean, my managing director, we did that, and all number of sessions around to ensure that. And also we created something called COVID task force, which really is responsible for everything, not only the creating policies, but also tracking that all policies are being adhered to. And also that's the one part of the whole gamut. Second part was only thing, as you said, people went away to their homes, and getting them back and all was a major challenge to us. So the whole process of getting, especially the blue collar worker, back to the work and all, and this I'm talking about, especially the contract worker, which has become essentially a very important part of our element around. So the whole new strategies of remote interviews of those guys and all, evaluation remotely, and health checkup remotely, and everything around and all, so that he should walk in and all and come back and all, quarantine for 15 days and then join the work. I think the agility which we did to get that to normal and all, and till now, I think more than 15,000 people have joined back post pandemic and all, and we're still managing that whole process. Respect to that is important. And since work from home has become very critical for white collar worker, so the whole process, like productivity measurement at work, remote working supports to them and all collaboration tools around to do that and all, and guidelines for work home, I think that has been a big area of working. And last, on shop floor, managing containment zone, managing contact tracing, I think is another big task today, which you should be able to manage that and all, because life is not smooth, and suddenly you get somebody getting into contact with somebody risky. So you have to go back to ground and then look at who can come, who cannot come, to do that. Also managing that agility in your workforce and our shops, I think, has been a big area for us to work on. So these are a few areas which I think we can take it.
See, you spoke about productivity management, you spoke about all these things. Maybe just a quick follow-up. Do you think the productivity has gone up during this period for people working from home, or has gone down significantly?
I think it has gone up significantly. But significantly.
It's also that will we be able to sustain it? Or is it leading to burnout of all the people working from 8 in the morning in front of Zoom like this until night, actually becoming Zoomies?
Yeah, I think we need to find the right balance to do that and all. Now we're looking at engagement while working on Zooms and stuff like that. I think we need to reinvent ourselves to really work on this new environment, which is much more efficient than the traditional way to look at that and all. And also one very important thing is, I think this working and digital, I think, has come to center stage of whole organizations. I think that's the big positive opportunity for all of us to look at and all. Let's talk about it a little later. Yeah.
Sanjay? So you want to add few?
No, absolutely. I think to your point that, and it's very interesting. What we hear, if you look at, the teams who have been for a few months, 4 or 5 months, some of them who have not been lucky to come to office, what you see, the fatigue levels have gone very high, very, very high, because you just get on hooked to your laptop, your calls because of this collaboration tools. I wanted to share that, one of the best things which happened for our company was, while we had moved on our O365 journey sometime in December, but we were going with our own pace of implementing teams, and you understand how the adaptation happens over a period of time. But come COVID, there was no other option. In just 8-10 days, teams was something which everybody learned on their own. So that also brought in this issue of people getting connected with the system for a long time. So therefore, what we are doing, we are investing into some productivity tools, also to ensure that the way we have a 9:30 to 6:37 kind of a job, how do you imply that for people who are going to work from home? How do you work on that working hours? Because it is getting taken granted where you're working at home means you're just connected with the system. So how do we give them those breakaway times, lunch times, and all? I think some digitization, some systems have to come and play. We just are looking at some systems, and I think that's going to be very paramount. Which Mr. Uppal said some time back about the health of the employees because of this fatigue which is going to happen. And there has to be some shift in the HR model itself, the way we have been working in the office hours. I think that has to be something which has to work from a productivity standpoint. The KRAs have to be redefined when you work from home. I mean, it's more from a KRA, I think, more than a task-based, KRAs or work what we do today. Maybe it's going to be more outcome-based kind of projects you give. So you manage that time well and allow them to also be elastic.
Yeah, you're right. I think what it also would mean is a huge mindset change among the managers. Instead of making it task-based, output-based, and more importantly, even a trust-based. Because there's always this apprehension that if you're working from home, especially for those organizations like ours, Rajesh's, maybe yours, who have never had work from home earlier. So there's at the back of the mind that is this guy really working or is he having a chutti out there? So if it becomes an outcome based, as you rightly said, suddenly the entire paradigm changes. But it's not easy. It's not going to be easy making that change, and I'm sure that a lot of companies would struggle. Also, I think from a productivity perspective, maybe we'll take 1-2 more minutes on this one. One of the reasons perhaps productivity we feel has gone up is because people are not able to go out. Okay. So once it becomes a normal circumstances, now you know that since 8 in the morning till 10 the night, you are in front of a screen. But once you have a regular life, would people be available at all those things? Number 2, I think a question for each one of us to ponder, is this really leading to a huge digital fatigue among all of us? That today, first 1 month, April, May, we were happy, June, kind of. Now come August, are we really that enthusiastic sitting in front of all these collaboration tools? I'm not too sure how many people are, and there are enough people who are complaining of mental issues, mental health issues, and those kind of issues. And second, always is also that productivity goes up when you want to meet your colleagues physically. You want to go around, have a cup of tea with them, have lunch with them together. But now you're meeting them digitally always, as last almost 6 months now. So I'm not too sure how long will we be able to sustain, and it will be really a kind of model which will be combination of work from home, work from office. Because right now, as I personally believe from HR perspective, I think all of us were earlier talking about a huge issue with work-life balance. Now, I don't know, all of us sitting at home and the challenge is even bigger. Earlier we wanted to come. Work-life balance has to be better. But now when you're at home, it's actually become worse. So I think we'll have to really think of that. So let me just pull in Sumeet over here. Sumeet, you're a technology company. So you would have all these challenges, number one. So maybe you want to talk about them. And second is also, with all this digital fatigue, other things, and also what role can technology play in all these things to ensure that the workforce really remains productive, becomes engaged, much more engaged? So any thoughts from a technology perspective?
Sure. Thank you, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank you for having me on this panel in such an august company. So it's an absolute honor to be here. Thank you for that.
You said August company or company in August, month of August?
Both, sir. August company in August. So thank you for having me here. I think coming back to your question, sir, I think the points mentioned by all of you absolutely spot on. I think and we are a software company, so yes, our experience will personally, if I were to look at my experience as a company, our experience will be slightly different from a company where people really have to get to a plant to work, right? We were able to, of course, very quickly get into our homes, so to say, and deliver projects for our customers globally. So that, and as a company in the IT space, at least one of those companies where work from home was never really unwelcome. So the moment the work from home happened as a forced thing on us, I think all of us simply tightened our belts, got to home, and I think as all of you mentioned, for the first couple of months, 3 months, I think productivity was never a problem. Fatigue was never a problem. Probably productivity is not a problem even now, but maybe fatigue is an issue. So we will in odd pockets, and we'll have to look at that. But that's a little about employees in my company. Coming back to what role technology can play, I think the way this pandemic has really affected employees, workforce management has come right in the center of how we can help employees as a technology to help organizations work better. Now, if we look at, and I think Uppal sir and Sanjay, all of you mentioned in various ways that what is happening is we are seeing an evolution of 3 categories of workforces. We will have this factory worker or a shop floor worker or an office worker who will have to go to office to get the work done. We do have remote workforce, but as things start coming to normalcy, we will see 2 categories there. We will see a remote worker who will probably be remote all the time. And then we will see a category of people who will shuttle between these 2, sometime at office, sometime at home, right? Office will be more like a social space for him, but when he has to do individual work, he'll probably do at home. Now, what will happen is the need for redefining the policy framework, and I think Rajesh sir mentioned that already. What will happen is the need for redefining the policy framework for these different categories of employees, and where technology plays a role here is the complexity of managing your workforce then will go up dramatically, and trying to do that in a non-technological manner will only take you as far. Of course, each company, as Rajesh sir mentioned, Sanjay already mentioned, that the processes were put in quickly, very quickly, as you also mentioned, right? Within a week, probably you had all the processes in place. But as you have to evolve and carry this forward, and I think this reality is going to be there for a while now, the processes for each one of these categories of workers need to come in. Now, within each one of these, if I were to just pick up, take 2 minutes more, just pick up the factory workforce and the remote worker, the needs are very different. When it comes to the remote workforce, safety was not such a paramount importance, but productivity and how do we make sure that we are getting the right output? Are they engaged? Are they collaborating? So basically, productivity, engagement, and collaboration are the 3 pillars around which we are seeing companies looking at how do they manage employees at home. And that is where technology can give you a lot of insights around tracking the work done, looking at their engagement, looking at their fatigue levels through indirect measures, so on and so forth. On the factory side or on the workplace side, yes, safety is paramount. So the ability to, for example, doing staggered shifts or skeletal staffing, or if I'm doing canteen, if employees have to go to canteen and have lunches, can I do staggered canteen flow so that there is not a big rush into it? So can I when I can't get all my employees in, let's say hypothetically I have to get only 50% of my employees in, what is the right mix of people that are available so that I can bring them in? All of this is probably today happening in various ways in a manual manner, because this had to be set up very quickly by all companies. What technologies like Kronos can do is actually bring a lot of automation to this, and some of this is going to prevail over the next months and years, and which is where I think technology will help drive productivity both at home as well as office much better.
I agree with you. So when you talk about technology, I think all of us have read this famous thing that what all the CIOs combined, CEOs combined, all CXOs could not do in last 20 years, Corona has done in last 12 months, from bringing technology to the forefront of all companies, changing the digital mindset of all employees. So now everyone, right from the janitor to to the gatekeeper, to everyone understands technology. So I think it's fantastic that has happened. So it's a huge opportunity. And some of the new technologies, for example, we use artificial intelligence from social distancing in our canteen. You spoke about canteen. So when people are standing in the queue, so there's a AI-based system which tells in Hindi that "Kripya dur hojiye," please maintain safe distance, or mask pehniye. So wear a mask and things like that. So I think technology has changed a lot, and there's a lot of technology introductions, be it contactless sellings and things like that. So let me first speak to Rajesh. Rajesh, maybe you want to share some of the technology interventions over the last few months that you have done, or what you are now doing going forward, so that in the new normal or the next normal, as people may call, or never normal, so what will really happen?
Okay, let me not repeat some of the things which we already discussed about the health and employee tracking around. I think one big area of work has been how to really get maximum out of the collaboration tools around. I think we're still using it as a communication tool, not collaboration. I think collaboration is a very different subject than the communication. So that's something which I think we need to do. Recently, I did one brainstorming session through the communication tool. It was templatized into the way we do a physically brainstorming and all, group meetings and come back, present, vote, and all the things. So I think organization has to learn how to really collaborate in a best possible way. Will be a one big change to look at that. Second, I think is important for a large company like us who has such a large distribution channel in the country. How do we connect with our customer contactless and get them to that? Today, the inquiries coming through our hyper local and all those environments are so large, and still you need people to change the mindset that those people expect in a minute's reply, not the next day reply kind of thing, which has been traditional way of working in. So the whole operations change at the leadership level with the new SOPs, which is more contactless and the way it is more effective to look at that. Large amount of technologies are coming in place in that area to institutionalize the whole processes to manage our customers in a big way. And third, I think, as you said, in our shop floors, contactless operations, again, a lot of technology around to beep that, okay, you are nearer to the other guys and so on and so forth. I think, again, has been a big area of work to get into. And also, how do you manage a supply chain better?
Correct.
Because today in our supply chains, uncertainties has been very, very high. Now, how quickly you can get an impact of any issue on any lockdown or any missed flights and all, and find out how you have to work on that. I think those operations and those systems are again going to help a lot to work on, because you need to be too agile this time to really be operating and on it. Today, luckily, we are working at almost 100% now, but the kind of agility required to really be sustained that is very, very high.
Absolutely. I think agility is another thing which has really, the COVID has brought in agility in almost all spheres of life. So Sanjay, you want to share some of your thoughts on technology?
Yeah, I think, as a conglomerate and, being very diverse, starting from a port to one side, airport and energy distribution, transmission, and also generation of it from reality. Look at all the businesses, coal mines. So it's not that, one shoe fits all. But having said that, I think what we observed, and I will really agree with Uppal, what he said about collaboration, we have also realized that, well, there are today so many tools people come in, and, typically these collaboration tools have been used as, VCs to get connected. But how do you create that a single window and moment of truth for these employees, so they don't have to flick between multiple screens? So that's one thing we are trying to work on and create this as a workplace. So while on one side you can communicate, you can chat, you can open your mail, you can open your applications and do that. And we are leading towards a digital workspace kind of an era, which we are planning for various different companies, so we can get in based on the role and the nature of the company. So a lot of virtualization is what is going on while we speak, because it takes a lot of load out of your operational management also. Today, when we have our outsourced partners who manage end user services. So everybody is sitting at home. How do you go and have these end user services, who were in your office, go to their home and serve? So therefore, I think a lot of work, how you can take that work out, and is virtualization a key? So you take, support from there, or, go for a self-heal, NLP, chat-based, bot-based kind of solutions, which can help to solve the problem of the employees. And they don't have to really call these different call centers. So those are some directions what I believe personally, a lot of virtualization. Third thing is about how do you today, if you look at the HTTPS traffic, 4 years back we used to have almost 78% HTTPS traffic and some 22% was on the app. And look at last 8-9 months, the traffic of HTTPS has gone down to 54%, and there is almost 46% traffic which has increased on the apps. So how do we make these apps which don't fatigue out the people? You create the marketplace kind of an app like that. You have all the workflows going there. So you take that load out that the employees don't have to sit and get stuck with a laptop to click everything on a mail. How do we move that and make mobility as one important tool for them to move around also and still be connected with the work. So and I think last thing is about security. While all this is great, this is fantastic, but how do you keep patching those systems, and how are you able to put in, like, I think in my view, a zero trust, what we are trying to work based on a SASE model. We already started a journey on that. We think it's going to be very critical. And mind you, it's not only about your workforce here. We have so many partners working for us, so many partners. They come into your network, they come to think. They also are coming from remote now, somewhere in office. So how do you create that cohesive environment? And that's where I believe a zero trust environment which we are going to work to make sure that you don't trust any device, you don't trust any network company. You come through various processes and take on the bar to the next level.
So you spoke about cybersecurity, and we know that last 5 months the security attacks have really gone up a lot. So Rajesh, you want to add anything from a cybersecurity perspective?
I think security. Yeah, see, I think the major shift has, as Sanjay said, is earlier firewall used to feel that sacrosanct, that everything is within firewall and you are there and on. Today everything is outside the firewall. So I think rethinking the cybersecurity has been a big area of work, and that too, again, the devices being used outside are not only the only company devices, you are giving it to the other devices. So I think zero trust network is something which is a journey, again, need to be looked at and need to be thoroughly being planned by everybody to look at that. That has been a major work on that. And then typical things like attack and penetrations and the work we have been doing should sustain. But on top of it, I think a fundamental change in design to manage it is going to be a big area.
Absolutely. And also linked to that is the business continuity plans. Absolutely. We had all these business continuity plans, hot site, warm site, this site, person not available, this site goes down. When the entire country or entire world people are not there and all IT infrastructure is there, how do you plan it out? So Sumeet, anything from cybersecurity perspective? Do you want to add?
I think that, sure, absolutely, sir. So I think that it's a very interesting point raised, and I think it's funny to think about the fact that earlier everything was within a firewall and today everything is outside. But what that led to was, applications, for example, that were cloud ready and device and ability to work on any device became the key, right? There are applications that were never, for example, completely mobile ready. Whether they were as secure as one would expect. So those are issues that I think many of you have probably faced. I think from an application perspective, from a company that I work for, I think we've had the cloud applications ready, and we've been able to enable our customers very quickly as and when they had to go into the lockdown, because they were able to simply push whatever there was within the firewall, really to push it outside, and without any major disruption. And being a workforce solution, it was also critical, given that things like workforce availability is so dynamic today. I think Rajesh sir mentioned that few minutes back. There was a time, maybe 5 months back, where you could probably look at workforce availability on a weekly, fortnightly, and a monthly basis. Today, probably you have to do that on a daily basis, on a shift, hourly basis, right? So how do you get real-time visibility has become so much more important. I mean, that's been one of the things that we keep telling our customers as we talk to them, that real-time visibility is important. But not everyone may see the value all the time. But today, it's so critical that how can I know what's happening now, where I'm sitting? My plant might be running, but I am probably not scheduled to go to office today. I'm scheduled to work from home, but my plant is running and I need to take a few decisions. How do I give them that visibility to bring it all together? So yes, I think while I took the cybersecurity question in a slightly different direction, but but I thought that's the relevance here.
Sure. So since this was also on workforce management, and I was also looking at watch, we have 6 or 7 minutes left. I thought maybe let me do a small quick poll with 3 of you. Okay. The poll is very simple. So I'll give you 4 options. You decide A, B, C, D, whatever it may be. When do you think the workforce will come back to normal, what we had before, say 25th of March or 20th of March? So option A, I don't know. Option B, I don't know. Option C, I don't know. Option D, if you have any other option, please give.
All of them.
You should have said all of above. Last was
We'll
all
start.
of above.
All over.
Your views? Any idea as to when we'll come back to normal life?
I think we need to be ready for new normal. I don't think life will never be the same. That's the in nutshell. I think very clear. Life will never be the same. We need to really, bring in our new normal to practice and be part of it. I think that's something we need to work on, all of us.
Sanjay?
No, absolutely. I think in my view also, remote working is here to stay. We have to accept this fact, and therefore we need to start looking at, and it does, the time has come for us to look at new different operating models in terms of people, structures, processes, technology. I think time has come for us to look in that. And if I have to convert that, remote working into the workforce management, or say what is going to be the new workforce reality, I think it is going to be elastic and digital. So how do we prepare our plans and keep our organizations ready for this new normal is going to be the key from now, and getting prepared for COVID-19 plus in times to come.
Sumit?
Yes, sir. So I think I totally agree with the panelists here. When will the disease go? When will the vaccine come? I think it's anybody's guess. But as far as work is concerned, work has changed forever. Remote working will remain. I think one of the things, I'm on the other side of the table, all of you are on the other side of the table. There used to be a time when such meetings would never happen online, right? We would be in a hotel, or if I were to come and meet you, Sethi sir, the only way I would probably do that is come and see you face to face, right? Or any one of you. Now, so those things are all gone for a while now. So our deals will happen this way, our deliveries will happen this way. So remote working is definitely going to increase dramatically.
Correct.
So Sumit, sorry, Vijayji, I just, I was prompted just for a 30 seconds. So Sumeet, I hope with this, all the companies will get benefited with a different rate, what we charge today. All
Absolutely. So we'll get all the discounts because we don't have to pay for his air travel and car travel. So right.
Okay, अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मार ली लगता है मैंने.
अब देखो ऐसे होता है हमारा सबका काम ये है how to get maximum discount. So Rajesh, you spoke about new normal. I think yes, you're right. It will be new normal, or never normal. I don't know what will happen, but maybe as we come to the end, I'll request each one of you, and starting with you, Sumit, just to, in the new normal, in the next normal, going forward, what will be your 1 or 2 suggestions to everyone from a workforce management perspective?
Sure. So I think as I'll go back to what I mentioned. I think one, the new normal is here to stay in terms of different working policies. Organizations who adopt those processes and technologies faster will be able to succeed so much better. For organizations, so as I mentioned, whether it is remote working or composite working, as we call it, remote as well as office and office working, that is going to stay. Organizations need to adopt it and adopt the tools and technologies to enable their employees as soon as possible from a work perspective, engagement perspective, and collaboration perspective. The earlier you do it, the more successful one would probably be as you come out of COVID. That's all I'd like to say.
Sanjay?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the workplace reality is going to be elastic and digital. And I would tell fellow colleagues out there that, since we have already gone through these 5, 8 months, 6 months now, we have seen the journey. Don't get panicked about, what needs to be done. Give a thought through, look at the culture, look at the awareness. As Uppal said, health is going to be a very big thing. Please focus on what is going to be the unplugging after work, because they don't go anywhere. They're in the home only. How do they unplug also? So working on those cultural aspects is going to be key.
Okay.
Second, I think time has come in terms of digitalization to be more virtual, focus on security, and be very cautious that, in this pandemic, what has happened, so many companies have come and given beautiful presentations, but focus on the company, who you think is going to make the PPT into, working model and not leave it at the PPT level. But nothing to panic. I think a few of these four things: seamless networking, work, make your applications, light in nature, and adapt the technology. I think the time has come for us to kind of work that way.
Rajesh?
Vijay, I think I'll make 2 points at this stage. One very, very critical is, all problems, all change and all something, I think this is a big opportunity.
Absolutely.
You never had the attention of top management into IT, never before, frankly, I think. So really create those business cases and get the investments is the one big change we need to see to it, that we take this opportunity and we really encash this opportunity as IT teams to really implement and get on board is something, one big area, whether it's the workforce management or any other area of our working. I think, as Sanjay said, in various areas of, I think that's a one big opportunity, and I think all colleagues should look at this as an opportunity and find how can we adopt that better. That's the one positive side. And second, I think we need to work a lot on to mindset change and all, because especially a traditional company like ours and all of us, the mindset change of, as you said, trust and empathy and work together to really adopt this new normal. Otherwise, you can't suddenly shift from a 100% office to the hybrid working. I think work on that softer aspect of mindset change. I think these are the 2 areas which I feel are most critical at this point of time to work on to ensure that we winner in the new normal.
I fully agree with you, Rajesh. So maybe if I was to add a couple of things, how I see going forward, I think I tend to agree with all of you that we don't know till what time this would continue, and there'll be a hybrid model. What we have seen in this entire period is a huge amount of collaboration that you spoke about, communication that you spoke about, all of you, agility that you spoke about. I think if these are some of the learnings that we also had, and Rajesh, the point that you rightly said, for me, COVID, while it was a challenge, but it was perhaps a bigger opportunity for all of us. So if we can ensure in our own companies back that we continue with that spirit of collaboration, continue with that spirit of communication, agility, and actually take all the IT steps, whatever you're doing over the last 5 months, continue to do it at a very different pace, the pace at which we have been doing. Suddenly, we'll see that our own organizations are very different, and the image that IT today has, thanks to whatever has happened in the last 5 months, I think that will further go up, and people would really respect even IT more. Rajesh, you spoke about top management. Yes, absolutely. Everyone understands the power that IT brings to the table. And I think it's a fantastic opportunity for IT leaders to ensure that we really cash upon this entire opportunity and not let it go waste. So with that, I thank each one of you. Sumeet, thank you very much. Sanjay, fantastic. And Rajesh, thank you very much for this entire panel. I learned a lot, and I'm sure that all our viewers would have learned. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
My
so
pleasure.
much.
Wonderful. That was a power-packed performance, a new normal and all. Huh? So I wanted to summarize the session, but now I'm thinking this is already a powerful summary with no long paragraphs, and everything was so objective and bulleted. We got some brilliant nuggets of knowledge, wonderful actionables in such a short time. Looked like a buzzer round where knowledge kept flowing, and minute after minute, and it was up to us how much we can catch and retain. Largely, we saw some common points around employee safety, mental strength, contactless processes, social distancing, real-time visibility, all jazzy words, employee productivity, and more about its sustenance. Change in mindset, where we want to move towards trust-based engagement. Trust is extremely important, I will say, especially for remote workers, since if the trust is missing, then in the absence of physical bonding in offices, the employee belongingness to the company may reduce. And since they are now working from home, it is easier for them to become part of the growing gig economy that we have in the industry. And we may lose our top talent. Gig economy can bring some benefits, but also poses some security challenges, as your IP or IT effects may get shared with the other employees of the remote workforce. So that is the problem. So I will not take much time here and talk on whether I know or not when we will come back to office. I'll again choose the I don't know piece. I'd rather keep my fingers crossed. I will now hand over to Vanuja from Kronos, who will take us through a little bit about Kronos workforce management offering and how this can help us solve some of the problems that we have. Over to Vanuja.
So thank you, sir. And it's my pleasure to be here. I really thank the CIO Club for giving us this opportunity to speak. And right after this panel discussion, I'm sure we wouldn't want to take so much time, because I know I'm standing between the entertainment event and the panel. The whole idea is just to give you a brief introduction about Kronos as a company. I hope everybody's able to see the presentation.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thanks for confirming. So just a little bit about us. Kronos is, the world's leaders in workforce management. And we have 40 million users worldwide, 40,000 customers globally. We are present in more than 100 countries. In India, we have more than 150 customers and 1 million users. We predominantly work across multiple industries where, it's basically workforce heavy, whether it's manufacturing, services and distribution, retail, healthcare. We've been present in India for the last 12 years with offices in Noida, Mumbai, and Bangalore. Just to give a little bit idea on workforce management, because it is exactly, workforce management is a category that's still evolving, and it's got many definitions. So how we look at it is the solutions that Kronos provides basically gives the organization a view into the day in the life of the employee. So we are often asked, how are you different from a HCM solution? So a HCM solution is largely about the life cycle of the employee. So whether it's recruitment, onboarding, talent management, learning, most of that falls into HCM. But what workforce management does is that it's really where operations and HR, meet, and it's around planning, the right number of people you need in your shop floor, scheduling them, tracking them, managing any absences and availability, and of course tracking then productivity associated with it. And the outcome of this largely becomes the basis on which employees get paid. What a solution like Kronos does in terms of workforce management is it gives you the insights and the visibility so that organizations can manage their costs, improve their productivity, manage compliances, and of course, ensure that they are engaged with their employees, right? And the Kronos solution basically takes care of multiple categories of employees, whether it's contract workforce, or blue-collared workers, white-collared workers, or even remote workers. We basically handle the entire workforce management process. And of course, we integrate with multiple devices, including our own device. So whether it's biometrics, thermal scanners, access control devices, all of this access inputs into the workforce management system. In today's context, basically, workforce management, the way we see it is that it's become more relevant than ever. And I think the panel has clearly called that out. There are 3-4 core problems that we help you solve. One is ensure, ever since the COVID issue has come in, obviously with social distancing coming into the workplace, planning the optimal workforce becomes important. You can't have all your staff, so you need to pick and choose which staff will you really have. Workforce scarcity is an issue. It could be even an availability issue, because we have understood that in some sectors where COVID is really spreading, employees are also a little hesitant coming in. So how do you plan around workforce scarcity, implementing social distancing, managing health and safety? So these are all different challenges which exist today, which were not there in the past. And all of these are areas where our solutions help. Predominantly, we have two different, I would say, areas in which we focus on. One is how do we enable the remote worker, where the remote worker is more about managing the productivity, managing the availability, helping them with flexible schedules, doing more remote and mobile based activities, as well as the workplace staff, where it's largely around planning well for the shop floor, ensuring that you are able to manage social distancing. We do a lot of work in terms of automating the entire contact tracing process in the workplace, so that at any point of time you can, through the devices and the logs that are there in the system, actually identify who could have come in contact with each other. And of course, one of the last things that we do is basically track actual employees, where he is, his presence, provide visibility on that, and also provide information around productivity uh, of the employee within the organization. So one of the things we do understand is that with everything changing, things are not going to be the same. Processes are going to evolve, and policies are going to change, and more importantly, productivity standards that you have will also change. So what a solution like Kronos does is that it gives you that operational visibility, and it gives you the analytics to basically understand what is changing, define your new productivity standards, and basically automate your entire process, whether it's your remote worker or your workplace staff. So this is just a little brief about us. I don't want to take too much of your time, just so that we introduce ourselves to this wonderful community, and we'll be happy to discuss more. Please reach out to us. Sumit Doshi, who was on the panel, who's our country manager, his email ID is here. I am Vanaja. I take care of marketing at Kronos. And we'll be very happy to basically engage with all of you post this session. I would like to now hand it back to Punish sir. We have a very interesting set of activities in store for you this evening. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Vanaja. So I would like to go to quiz now, but not before thanking our panelists, Mr. Vijay Sethi, Mr. Sumeet, Mr. Rajesh Uppal, and Mr. Sanjay Kotha. We had a very nice discussion. So thank you all of you for sharing your thoughts. And now I'll hand it over to Basant, who will run the quiz for us. I think for the quiz, you all have to download the Kahoot app, and you will need two screens. One is to see the quiz and the other to attempt your answer. So over to you, Basant.
Thank you, Mr. Punish. So I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, it is visible.
So you can note down the pin. It is 193504. The rules are simple. You have to enter your first character of first name and first character of last name with your mobile number. This is required specifically to know that who is the person participating, so that we can reach out after the quiz to award the coupons. So shortly we will start the quiz. So we can see here 23 players so far. Mr. Ashok, if you could re-enter, you can go out and you can re-enter with your first name, first character name, and last character name with your mobile number. 193504 is not helpful. If you could please log out and re-enter. We need the way it is entered here. You can see one GD 87544579949. So this is an authentic entry. If you are entering with wrong credentials, like 193504, or with your name, we may not be able to contact you and award the coupons. Saurabh, please log in again with your mobile number. Jabin, please log in again with your mobile number. Shri Kumar, please log in again with your mobile number. We will wait for 1 more minute and then we will start. RA, please re-enter again. Moninder, please re-enter again. You have to enter your mobile number mandatorily. Even if you miss out first character of your name and first character of your surname, mobile number is mandatory to be entered. So we have 55 players. Another 30 seconds to go. Okay, so we are going to start now. And here is the first question. In which year was the CI Club was formed? Option A, 2007, B, 2008, C, 2009, D, 2010. Question is, in which year the CI Club was formed? Oh, we have most of the answers correct. 2008. It was also shown in our video, which we play every time during our webinar session. Moving to the next question. And here are the winners. So this, you have to keep on entering correct answers to retain your seat. Next question. In 1938, an asymptomatic carrier of typhoid infected more than 50 people and carried the disease from Ireland to America. What was the name? Typhoid Jane, Jane Doe, Typhoid Mary, Typhoid Teresa. Time up. We have 24 correct answers. And here is the trending position. Moving to the next question. The process of identification of persons who may have come into contact with an infected person is contact tracking, workforce management, contact tracing, COVID tracing. The process of identification of persons who may have come into contact with an infected person. And the correct answer is contact tracing. And I could see the names are changing very frequently. Fourth question, Kronos supports which of the following capability for a safe return to work? Contactless attendance and contact tracing, managing skeletal staffing and staggered shifts, availability-based scheduling, all of the above. Kronos support which of the following capabilities for a safe return to work? This was covered in the slide also. Yes, the correct answer is all of the above. And most of the people have answered correctly. So PJ is retaining the top seat. Next question. True or false? The first punch card system to be linked to a microprocessor was developed by Kronos. Is it true or false? The first punch card system to be linked to a microprocessor was developed by Kronos. Yes, it is true. PJ is retaining the top seat. Next, second last question. The COVID-19 is called the novel coronavirus because it was first predicted in a fiction novel. It is a new strain that has not been previously identified in humans. Novel is a category of viruses. All of the above. The COVID-19 is called the novel coronavirus because, yes, it is a new strain that has not been previously identified in humans. That's the reason it is called as novel. It's a good learning for me also today. Yes, PJ, you are still on the top. And this is the last opportunity and the last question. Try your best. Answer as fast as possible to retain the seat. The word pandemic originates from the Greek pan demos, that means all people. It means nothing. Demonstrable disease, great illness. The word pandemic originates from the Greek pan. What does that mean? All people, nothing, demonstrable disease, great illness. Yes, it means all people. Let's see who are the winners. AK, congratulations. AB, congratulations. And I suppose PJ? No, there is someone who won the seat, NP. So that's the change. PJ, you are runners up, so no issues. So friends, do not worry if you haven't won the first 3 seats. We are going to award the coupons to first 10 winners, not first 3 winners, first 10 winners. Thank you so much for your time. Now I'm giving it back to Mr. Punish.
Abhishek, you can start your performance now. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ashish Bhai. I think we are ready to have the entertainment program starting now. Please welcome your family as well, along with Abhishek, who is going to perform in front of us. Enjoy the session, enjoy the entertainment with your family with fantastic songs by Abhishek. Can we look the camera, please? Over to you, Abhishek.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Abhishek, please put on your camera.
Yes.
I can see Abhishek.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you also.
Okay. मैं सुन रहा था. How was the session? So good evening to all of you. Hello. Aryawas.
Absolutely, Abhishek. Good evening. You can introduce yourself and then you can start. Please go ahead.
Yes. So as you know, my name is Abhishek Ranjan, and I'm a singer-songwriter performer based in Delhi. Thanks to Kronos to invite for all of you guys. So let's have the beautiful musical evening. I don't want to add more introductions and all. So let's start with the music only. So am I audible to all of you?
Yes. Please go ahead, Abhishek. We can hear you.
So start. So this is dedicated to all of you and for the beautiful life we have. ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, हमने भी तेरे हर एक गम को गले से लगाया है ना। ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, हमने भी तेरे हर एक गम को गले से लगाया है ना। ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले। हमने बहाने से चुपके जमाने से के पर्दे में घर कर लिया, हमने बहाने से चुपके जमाने से के पर्दे में घर कर लिया। तेरा सहारा मिल गया है जिंदगी, ला 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 ला। तेरा सहारा मिल गया है जिंदगी, ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, ऐ जिंदगी गले लगा ले, हमने भी तेरे हर एक गम को गले से लगाया है ना। बैठो न दूर हमसे, देखो खफा न हो, किस्मत से मिल गए हो, मिलकर जुदा न हो, किस्मत से मिल गए हो, मिलकर जुदा न हो। मेरी क्या खता है, होता है ये भी के ज़मीन से कभी आसमान मिल गया। तुम जो मिल गए हो तो ये लगता है कि जहां मिल गया। So this was the first song. Oh. Hello.
Go ahead. We are all listening to you.
Yes.
Just see that
So,
we wanted to hear more music noise. So just see that if you can get more volume.
okay. My voice is audible.
Your voice is audible, but music is little.
Okay. वो जानबूझ के कम रखा है ताकि लेटेंसी ना आए, पर थोड़ा सा बढ़ा। हाँ, थोड़ा सा बढ़ा। So the next song. प्यार ना हो तो जिंदगी क्या है, यार ना हो तो बंदगी क्या है। प्यार ना हो तो जिंदगी क्या है,
यार ना हो तो बंदगी क्या है, तुझसे ही हर खुशी है, तेरे दम से आशिकी है जान। हर किसी को नहीं मिलता यहाँ प्यार जिंदगी में, हर किसी को नहीं मिलता भाई यहाँ प्यार जिंदगी। खुश नसीब है हम जिनको है मिली ये बहार। प्यार ना हो तो जिंदगी क्या है, यार ना हो तो बंदगी क्या है, तेरे गम से है खुशी है, तुझसे ही आशिकी है जान। मिल जाए हम तो सब सही है, यूं दरमिया फिर तुम में हम में तुम, तुमसे हमसे तुम, किस्मतों से मिलते हैं दो दिल यहाँ, हर किसी को नहीं मिलता यहाँ प्यार जिंदगी में। खुश नसीब है हम जिनको है मिली ये बहार। तुम जो मिल गए, दिए जल गए मेरे ख्वाबों के। ला 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 ले ओ ला 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 ओ ओ ओ ओ, डूबा डूबा रहता हूँ खो में तुम, दीवाना बन गया हूँ मैं चाहत में तेरी, अब दिन गुजरते नहीं रातें कटती नहीं, तेरी तस्वीर से बात बनती नहीं, तो आजा न जा बेवफा, डूबा डूबा रहता हूँ आँखों में तेरी। तुम जो मिल गए, दिए जल गए मेरे ख्वाबों के, बन जाओ तुम मेरे हम सफर। तुम जो मिल गए, दिए जल गए मेरे ख्वाबों के, बन जाओ तुम मेरे हम सफर। बेवफा सुन बेवफा, ना जा बेवफा तू न जा, बेवफा सुन बेवफा, ना जा बेवफा तू न जा, न जा बेवफा। क्यों चलती है पवन, क्यों झूमे है गगन, क्यों मचलता है मन, हो ना तुम जानो ना हम, ना तुम जानो ना हम, क्यों मिलती है नजर, क्यों होता है असर, क्यों होता है प्यार, ओ ना तुम जानो ना हम, ना तुम जानो ना हम। क्यों चलती है पवन, क्यों झूमे है गगन, क्यों मचलता है मन, वो ना तुम जानो ना। ये मदहोशियाँ ये तन्हाइयाँ तसव्वुर में है किसकी परछाइयाँ ये भीगा समा उमंगे जवा मुझे इश्क ले जा रहा है कहाँ क्यों गुम है हर दिशा क्यों आता है मजा क्यों लुटता है करार ना तुम जानो ना हम Thank you. So, just help me with one thing.
Thank you. It was a fantastic song. So we have only me who can talk to you because it is an event. So you will not be able to know how people are liking it or not. But for audience, I just wanted to tell you, people who are staying with us, they have exciting opportunity to win coupons for active top 10 active attendees. We are going to give Amazon coupons. So enjoy the music and stay there. Please continue, Abhishek. I'm enjoying your music. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. So I'll take. So let's do. I've got a request yesterday. So let's start with that. I've got a request of Roja. So I'll do a AR Rahman medley.
Again, I wanted to announce that top 10 CIO Club active paid members who are attending this session whole may be the lucky winners for Amazon coupons. So stay tuned there. Go ahead. Thank you.
थोड़ा सा किताब बढ़ा पहले क्या रोजा
உயிரே வந்து என்னோடு கலந்து விடு உயிரே உயிரே வந்து என்னோடு கலந்து விடு நினைவே நினைவே என்னோடு கலந்து விடு நினைவே நினைவே என்னோடு கலந்து விடு காதல் இருந்தால் இந்த கண்ணோடு கலந்து விட காலம் தெளித்தால் இனி மனம் கலந்து விட तुहिरे तुहिरे तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं आजा रे इन सांसों में बस जा चांद रे आजा दिल की जमीन पे तू चाहती है अगर आजा दिल की जमीन पे तू या फिर ऐसा कर आके मुझसे मिल जा तू ही रे तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं आजा रे कि मुझ में समा जा छू के यूं चली हवा जैसे छू गए हो तुम ओ फूल जो खिले थे वो शूल बन गए हैं क्यों जी रहा हूँ इसलिए दिल में प्यार है तेरा जुल्म सह रहा हूँ क्यों छू के यूं चली हवा हवा छू के यूं चली हवा जैसे छू गए हो तुम फूल जो खिले थे वो शूल बन गए हैं क्यों जी रहा हूँ इसलिए दिल में प्यार है तेरा जुल्म सह रहा हूँ क्यों इंतजार है तेरा तुमसे मिले बिना जान भी ना जाएगी कयामत से पहले सामने तो आएगी कहाँ है तू कैसी है तू रो आ, आ, रोजा चांदी तू दिल की धड़कन तुझ बिन तर से नैना दिल से न जाती है यादें तुम्हारी कैसे तुम बिन जीना आंखों में तो है आंसुओं में तो है आंखें बंद कर लूं तो मन में भी तो है ख्वाबों में तो सांसों में तू रो जा आ, So this was on request. Yesterday I got this request. Thanks for the clap, sir.
I'm really enjoying. I'm also singing along with you.
Oh, that I मैं देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ सबको, but I assume कि सब एक रिक्वेस्ट मैंने कर दी है पूरी, और भी रिक्वेस्ट आ सकती है. I'll do that. So let's हमने रहमान के गाने का लिया. अब let's do a retro one. आप लोग भी मेरे साथ गा सकते हैं.
ये दिल लगी शोखियां सलाम की यही तो बात हो रही है काम की कोई तो मुड़ के देख लेगा इस तरह कोई नजर तो होगी मेरे नाम की पुकारता चला हूँ मैं गली गली बाहर की बस एक चाँद जुल्फ की बस एक निगाह प्यार की पुकारता चला गली गली बाहर की बस एक चाँद जुल्फ की बस एक निगाह प्यार की पुकारता चला हूँ मैं. मधुर ऑन गिटार. सुनी मेरी सदा तो किसी यकीन से घटा उतर के आ गई जमीन पे रही लगन तो है दिलो जवान से भी हो रहेगा एक हसीन पे पुकारता चला हूँ गली गली बाहर की बस एक छाँव जुल्फ की बस एक निगाह प्यार की पुकारता चला हूँ किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निशान किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार किसी के हौसले उठे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है। Let's sing together. किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो दे उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो प्यार, जीना नाम है। पुकारता चला हूँ मैं, पुकारता चला हूँ। आई होप आपने भी गाया होगा अपने अपनी जगह से। So the next, again I would like to thank Kronos and team कि आपने हमें invite किया।
There is a request from A.R. Rahman song "Ma Tujhe Salam."
Okay, माँ तुझे सलाम। Beautiful request, so let's sing together.
जहाँ वहाँ का जहाँ देख लिया है, कहीं भी तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं है। सीधी सो साग दुनिया घुमा है, कहीं भी तेरे जैसा कोई। मैं गाया जहाँ भी बस तेरी याद थी, जो मेरे साथ थी, तुझको तड़पाती रुलाती। सबसे प्यारी तेरी सूरत, प्यार है बस तेरा प्यार है। सुनी माँ तुझे सलाम, ओ माँ तुझे सलाम। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, तेरे पास ही मैं आ रहा हूँ, अपनी बाहें थाम ले, प्यार से मुझको गले लगा ले, मुझको तेरा नाम दे। ओ मामा तुझे सलाम, वंदे मातरम। जहाँ वहाँ सारा जहाँ देख लिया है, कहीं भी तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं है। Thank you for the beautiful request. So इसी से मुझे एक और गाना याद आ गया, मैं गा सकता हूँ अगर आप। हेलो।
बहुत बढ़िया, प्लीज गो हेड, प्लीज गो हेड।
यस। तो अभी एक सूफी सॉन्ग गाऊं अगर।
Abhishek, one request from you. Please
Yes, sir.
be near to the mic so that your voice is clear, because sometimes it is not clear. Thank you.
Yes, okay. जी मैंने देना। So I'm going to sing a Sufi song. Sufi अभी तक नहीं गया, तो let's do a Sufi. So let me introduce La Maestro here, Farid Khansa and percussionist. के इनका आशिक मैं बन गया हूँ,
मुझको बसा इनमें तू इश्क है मौला मेरे 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 मौला मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मेरे आँख तेरी आँख तेरी इतनी हंसी के इनका आशिक मैं बन गया हूँ मुझको बसा ले इनमें तू इश्क है इश्क है रख लूं छुपा के तुझे कहीं साया भी तेरा नाम दूं रख लूं बना के तुझे घर कहीं साथ तेरे मैं ही रहूं सुनी जुल्फ तेरी इतनी घनी के याद को जब करता हूँ फूलों सियाए खुशबू मौला मेरे 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 मौला मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मौला मेरे मौला तो से नैना लागे पिया सावरे नहीं बस में दिया सावरे मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मेरे मौला मौला मेरे मौला मेरे आँख तेरी इतनी हंसी इनका आशिक मैं बन गया हूँ मुझको बसा ले इनमें तू
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have really enjoyed the session, and here is the time to end the program now because we have to end up. It is already 6:37. So
Yes.
we really enjoyed the music. Thank you so much for all the songs which you have played for us, and of
Yes.
course taking care of my choice and other choices which we have received. We also
Yes.
wanted to thank to all attendees who has attended this program. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks once again. Thank you very much to your entire team. Could you please introduce your team also?
Yes. So let me do a end 1 minute song, and with 1 minute last song.
Sure, please.
So here is Farid on cajon and tabla. Come closer. And
Hi,
Madhur on guitar. So
Hi.
we have full setup, but due to COVID and all, not that. And if there will be more instrument, there will be some latency in sound and all. इसलिए हमने तीन ही रखे हैं, तीन ही हैं. So the last song is dedicated to all of you. And first of all, I'd like to thank Kronos to invite me. और अभी फिर से आगे और भी करेंगे. हमें तो समय का पता ही नहीं चला. तो एक और गाना आप लोगों के लिए.
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल.
So last medley to all of you. मुझे तो पता ही नहीं चला कि टाइम हो गया, but let me have.
अरे होगा तुमसे प्यारा कौन, हमको तो तुमसे है कांची, अरे कांची प्यार। अरे होगा तुमसे प्यारा कौन, हमको तो तुमसे है कांची, अरे कांची प्यार। कहते हो के जाओ लेकिन बतलाओ, अरे जाए भी तो जाए हम कहाँ। कहते हो के जाओ लेकिन बतलाओ, अरे जाए भी तो जाए हम कहाँ। अरे आखिर है हमारा कौन, हमको तो तुमसे है कांची, अरे कांची प्यार। ओ चोरी चोरी चुपके से आके मेरी आंखों में समा जा, चोरी चोरी सपनों की सुनी सुनी दुनिया बता जा। ऐसे सताना हारी में हारी, ये तेरी बातें झूठी है सारी। ऐसे सताना हारी में हारी, ये तेरी बातें झूठी है सारी। चोरी चोरी सपनों में आ जा, चोरी चोरी चुपके से सुनी सुनी दुनिया बता जा। बीते दिनों की याद सताती है, मन घबराता है रह रह के। तुझे हाल ये है, हार गया हम सह सह के। कोई मुझे बतलाए ना, तेरे बिना जिया जाए ना। चोरी चोरी चुपके से आके मेरी आंखों में समा जा, चैन मुझे अब आए ना, तेरे बिना जिया जाए ना। खिली खिली प्यासी रहना। So the dedicated to all of you. Hello. So last 4 lines to all of you. I'll end with a beautiful ghazal. हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे, ऐसी बातें किया ना करो। आज जान की जिद ना करो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो। आज जान की जिद ना करो। Thank you. Thanks for the beautiful time. Again, I thank to Kronos team and all the participants.
थैंक यू अभिषेक। हम तो जाने की बिल्कुल जिद नहीं करते, समय बहुत कम बचा हुआ है। और मैं और जो लोग हमारे CIO फ्रेंड्स जो अपने ऑफिस से अटेंड कर रहे हैं हमारा सेशन, उनको घर जाना ही होगा। हम उन लोग को बोल नहीं सकते कि आप रुक जाइए। एंड रियली वी फुल्ली एंजॉयड द म्यूजिक, फैंटास्टिक वे। एंड हम लोग इंतजार करेंगे उस दिन का जिस दिन हम लोग आपको लाइव देख सके, सुन सके। वो दिन अलग होगा। और उस दिन
लाइव जल्दी।
हाँ, तो उसमें ना तो समय की सीमा होगा, ना उम्र का बंधन होगा, पूरा एंजॉय करेंगे हम लोग।
सही, बिल्कुल सही।
ओके, थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू, थैंक यू once again.
Thank you
very much everyone.
Thanks Kronos and all CIO club members. Thanks for calling me. Hope you had good time. So do I need to unmute and close it?
Yes, now automatically everything will be closed because we are ending the webinar.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for attending the session and the fantastic music. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.